All right. So the manufactured cultural war over basic science, remedies, things what to do in the face of a virus going around still goes on, still continues. And the casualties are just piling up. So the next casualty, the new thing, is this phrase called natural immunity. Okay. So there was this athlete, I don't even know what team he's on or what he's about or if he was right or wrong, I don't really care. He decided, for whatever reason, he had gotten COVID and he had recovered from it. But somewhere in the middle of all that, he got recovered, COVID. But he had, in the midst of all that, I guess he said he wasn't going to get vaccinated. And, that was his choice. And but the articles and stuff went on to kind of keep smearing him. And as part of the smear, just became this big conjecture, cause so he publicly went and hung out with Joe Rogan on some show or something. He'd gone and hung out with Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan talked to him about what he went through when he got COVID. So, but in the midst of all that, now it's being reported on that this man, he had lied and said that he was vaccinated and just exposed all these people and just super horrible guy. All right, so that may or may not be true. But the articles that are now smearing him have just taken it back, they're doubling back on Joe Rogan now. And what they're saying that these guys were doing, what Joe Rogan was doing. So what happened with Joe Rogan when he got it, he actually consulted his doctor, his actual doctor for humans. He has one because he's rich. And his doctor said, yeah, ivermectin looks good for you. This looks like a good option. And guess what? He's cured in 2 days. Okay. That's not what was reported on the media. What was reported on the media is that he just kind of on his own, just not in cultural consultation with anything, just kind of maybe just following MAGA Trumpers or something, just went to a veterinary clinic and bought ivermectin that is only for animals, okay? And so that's the story. That's mainstream right now. It's sort of like people that still believe Branch Davidians set themselves on fire. Most Americans right now think that Joe Rogan went out on his own and purchased ivermectin from a veterinary and not from a doctor. That's what they think. That's the main impression that they have right now. And this impression has been created by a ubiquitous wall of false information. And it's just going on, it's out there now. So one of my smart friends posted this article to me, a friend who's smarter, better looking than me. I'm almost homeless. But anyway, so he posts this article and he says, oh, they really break it down in this article. It really breaks it down. So I read the article. Nothing was broken down. There's no details. There's no facts. There's no nuggets of fact. There's a bunch of conjecture. And they just start throwing these words, these concepts around. And so that's what they did. They said, yes, he went and met with Joe Rogan, this athlete. Went with Joe Rogan and was just influenced by Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan, who is experimenting with natural immunity by playing around with ivermectin cocktails. So now, in the narrative, Joe Rogan didn't take ivermectin from his doctor as a response to COVID. He's playing around with it, kind of creating his own natural immunity. So now they're taking a shot at natural immunity, right? Natural immunity is a real thing. In the past, if you had measles, you recovered from measles, you went to your doctor to get vaccinated for measles, your doctor would say, well, I'm sorry, you've already had measles. You've already recovered. You have better natural immunity than we can give you. That was natural immunity before Trump. Natural immunity in the post-science, crazy, whacked-out world is something that's associated with Joe Rogan now, right? That's what they managed to do. Natural immunity is actually superior. So if you had COVID and recovered, you have a better immunity than you would if you actually had the vaccine. But what they want, it's a campaign. It's not related to science. It's not related to health. It's not related to that kind of stuff. What it is related to coercion. getting you to comply, getting the population in the habit of just accepting contradictory information and just complying with things. And people that question these things are no longer taken serious. Words, concepts that were science in the past are now being vilified. And the new one on the list is natural immunity. So natural immunity is the next thing. Like ivermectin equals horse dewormer, natural immunity equals crazy Trumper. And that's so sad. It's so sad that the population has fallen for it. It's horrible.